1963, a back bedroom in a shotgun house, Memphis, Tennessee, reception noise bleeding through the wall behind her. A bride in white, her new husband one door away. 6 hours married. She knew how to keep a family secret buried for decades, how to smile through anything in public. But she did not know this night wasn't supposed to be a secret too. Nobody had told her otherwise. 20 rules built on what a woman never said aloud. Almost everyone has vanished. Number 25. The Lane Cedar Hope Chest. A black girl received or began filling a cedar hope chest years before any man ever proposed. Lane was the brand, $30 to $45 on layaway. The smell of red cedar when the lid opened. Inside, white cotton pillowcases with hand-stitched hems. Cannon bath towels still in the cellophane. A nightgown in tissue. A crocheted tablecloth. Some chests held a family Bible. Some held a recipe card for biscuits in a grandmother's handwriting. The chest sat at the foot of the bed for years, filling slowly. She did not fill it because she was in love. She filled it because the women in her family told her a woman who enters marriage unprepared has already lost something she cannot name. The chest was never about hope, it was about readiness. But the chest was only the container. What went inside it followed rules as strict as anything written in a church hymnal. Number 24. The Wedding Night Bath. The bride took a full bath before the wedding night. Not a shower, a bath. Camay in the pink wrapper, 12 cents. The tub filled hot, not warm. Some women added Epsom salt, some poured in rose water. The soap lathered on a washcloth, never bare hands. Neck first, arms, torso, working down. The bathroom door locked. 15 minutes of silence. The last bath she would take as somebody's daughter. She had bathed that morning before the ceremony. This second bath was ritual. A woman washing one life off before stepping into the next. The women who taught her this just said, "Take your bath, baby." But what they meant went deeper than the water. Number 23. The New White Sheets. The marital bed was made with brand new white sheets purchased for the wedding night. Cannon percale or Fieldcrest, $1.99 to $2.49 at Woolworth's. White, always white. Some mothers washed them once and line-dried them so they softened but held a crease. Pulled tight with hospital corners. Pillowcases ironed flat, smelling like Argo starch and afternoon air. The whiteness was not decorative. Every woman in the family understood what white sheets on a wedding night signified. Nobody said it out loud. The sheets said it for them. Number 22. The Evening in Paris Perfume. The bride dabbed perfume on her pulse points before the wedding night. Evening in Paris by Bourjois, the cobalt blue bottle with the silver cap, $1 to $1.50, behind each ear, both wrists, the hollow of the throat. Some women touched a drop behind each knee. The scent was powdery, heavy with violet and musk. It clung to the pillowcase for days. Other choices existed. Oivon's Here's My Heart for $1.25. Taboo by Dana for the bold. But Evening in Paris was the one most brides reached for. A woman who sewed her own dress and had a cake baked by a church mother still had perfume. She still smelled like someone worth remembering when the lights went out. Number 21. The Kitchen Beautician's Wedding Press. The bride's hair was pressed by the kitchen beautician the morning of or the day before. 2 pressing combs heating on the front burner. Posner's bergamot warming in the air. A regular press cost $2. A wedding press, $3 to $4. Extra time at the nape and temples. Marcel curls rolled tighter, more deliberate. Hair that held through the ceremony, the reception, and into the night. Some beauticians sent the bride off with bobby pins and a folded satin scarf, already thinking ahead to what happened after midnight. She did not ask what the bride wanted. She already knew. She had done her mother. She had done her aunts. And when she finished, she said the same thing she always said. "You look beautiful, baby." Now go on. 5 items deep, and everyone existed before the wedding day. Some of them years before. This is the part no modern wedding registry can replicate. You cannot buy years of preparation in a single afternoon. You cannot order a cedar chest full of your grandmother's handwriting off a website. Number 20. The Cashmere Bouquet Dusting Powder. After the bath, the bride dusted her body with scented powder before the nightgown went on. Cashmere Bouquet in the round cardboard canister with the pink puff. 49 cents. Pressed into the powder, tapped once on the wrist, then patted across the collarbone, between the shoulders, across the stomach, down the legs. The powder settling on warm, damp skin. Jasmine and rose filling the bathroom. The powder was not about fragrance. Powdered skin did not stick to nylon. The nightgown fell across the body like water over glass. She learned this watching her mother get dressed on a Saturday night. Number 19. The Trousseau Suitcase. The bride packed a suitcase with everything for the wedding night and the first morning. A Samsonite in pale blue or a cloth bag from the 5 and dime. Inside, folded with precision, the nightgown in tissue, fresh undergarments, a housecoat, Pond's cold cream, bobby pins, Colgate, the perfume, a washcloth from the hope chest, one outfit for the next day. Some women packed a handkerchief they expected to need. The suitcase was an act of self-sufficiency performed the night before she became half of something else. That balance was hard to carry. Those women carried it without a wobble. Number 18. The Wedding Night Gown. The nightgown was new, never worn, and ordered weeks in advance. Vanity Fair or Barbizon or Rogers. White or pale pink nylon with lace at the bodice. $3.98 to $6.95 from Sears or J.C. Penney. Full length always. The fabric so thin it whispered when she moved, purchased by the bride, given by her mother, or sewn by a grandmother working from a simplicity pattern. The nightgown was not lingerie. That word did not live in that house. The women understood something the bridal industry forgot. The wedding dress was for everyone else. The nightgown was for her. Number 17. The Teeth and Breath Rule. Before stepping out of the bathroom, the bride brushed her teeth and freshened her breath. No exceptions. Colgate in the flat metal tube. 15 cents. A swish of Listerine that burned the whole mouth. Some women chewed a clove from the spice jar. Some kept a peppermint in cellophane inside the trousseau bag for exactly this moment. A small rule, a quiet one, but it carried the full weight of something her mother never said twice. You do not begin a new life with yesterday still in your mouth. Number 16. The hair wrap to protect the press. Before bed, the bride wrapped her hair. The $3 press was not going to ruin on a cotton pillowcase. A satin scarf from the beautician or Woolworth's fabric counter, 15 cents a yard. Hair smoothed with Royal Crown or Blue Magic. Bobby pins at the edges. Scarf tied at the front or knotted at the nape. She had the most beautiful hair of her life for 8 hours. And the first thing she did alone with her husband was wrap it up and put it away. A woman who let a press fall apart on the first night did not understand what things cost. She understood exactly what things cost. Notice what is happening. She is not preparing for him. She is preparing herself. Every product, every step, every locked bathroom door is hers. This was not submission dressed up as beauty. This was a woman building herself into the version she had been rehearsing since her mother first put a jar of Pond's in her hands. Number 15. The Pond's Cold Cream Removal. The bride removed her wedding makeup with cold cream before the night began. Pond's in the green-lidded jar. 35 cents. Massaged in circles across the forehead, cheeks, chin, neck. A soft washcloth wiped it away. No water. The skin left dewy and bare. The same method her mother used every Saturday night. She wore a face for the world all day. The cold cream took it off. What was underneath was what her husband would see every night for the rest of their marriage. Not the aisle, not the vows. The bare face in the lamplight. Number 14. The Palmer's Cocoa Butter Ritual. After the bath and before the gown, the bride rubbed cocoa butter into every inch of skin. Palmer's in the brown and gold jar. 45 cents. Warmed between the palms. Applied in long strokes from shoulders to wrists, stomach to calves, the backs of the knees, the tops of the feet. Elbows worked in circles until the ashy white disappeared completely. A black woman in 1963 did not call this self-care. She called it not being ashy. On her wedding night, there was no higher personal failure than ashy elbows in a white nightgown. Number 13. The Vaseline Barrier. Vaseline as the final seal. The small blue capped jar. 9 cents. A thumbnail scrape across the bottom lip. Both heels thick enough to shine. Both elbows rubbed from matte to glass. The leftover wiped on the inside of the wrist. Nothing wasted. Vaseline was the period at the end of the sentence. Everything before it was preparation. The Vaseline said, finished. Every surface sealed. She was ready. Number 12. The Florida Water Blessing. Some brides splashed Florida water on their wrists and into the corners of the bedroom. Murray and Landman in the tall glass bottle. 50 to 75 cents. Citrus and clove and something green that had no name. Some women flicked drops into all four corners of the room. Some touched a drop to the pillow. It was not perfume. It had a different job. The room smelled afterward like a church that had just been scrubbed. Not every bride used it, but the ones who did understood that a new bed needed blessing. Whatever lived in that space before had to go. A woman who could handle that with 50 cents and a steady hand did not need to ask anyone for help. Number 11. The girdle removed behind a closed door. The bride removed her foundation garments in the bathroom, never in front of the groom. The Playtex living girdle, $2.98. Pink or white elastic from ribcage to upper thigh. Unhooked at the side, peeled down in stages. The skin underneath damp, lined with elastic imprints. The exhale when it released. Stockings unclipped first, rolled down. The whole assembly folded and hidden. Before the door opened, he saw the finished version. Always. The architecture that built it was none of his concern. The women who taught this rule were not ashamed. They were proud of the discipline it took to wear one 12 hours and remove it without a sound. Every ritual up to this point has one thing in common. She did everyone alone. The bath, the powder, the cold cream. The wedding night was the most public private event in a woman's life. These rules guaranteed the private half stayed hers. Number 10. The Bible on the nightstand. A Bible was placed on the nightstand before the wedding night. A King James in black leather with gold-edged pages. Some brides opened it to Ruth, chapter 1, verse 16. Some opened it to Song of Solomon and left it there, the gilt edges catching lamplight. The Bible was not decoration. It was a witness. It said what happens in this room is sacred. A bride who placed it there before her husband arrived was setting the terms of the marriage before a single word passed between them. Number 9. The prayer on her knees. The bride knelt beside the bed and prayed, alone, before her husband entered the room, knees on hardwood or on the braided rug, hands pressed against the mattress edge, eyes closed, the nightgown pooling around her knees, the room holding still. She did not pray for the marriage. She prayed for herself, for strength, for patience. The prayer was the last act she performed as a single woman. She did it alone because what she asked for was between her and God and nobody else. Number 8. The robe over the nightgown. The bride wore a robe over the nightgown when she came out of the bathroom. A quilted housecoat with snap buttons or a nylon bed jacket with ribbon ties. $198, worn until the lights went off, removed in darkness. She did not walk into the room in just a nightgown. There was a layer between the world and her husband. She decided when it came off. The robe was not about modesty for its own sake. It was pacing. The understanding that the distance between dressed and undressed should be crossed slowly and on her schedule. Number 7. The lights-off rule. The overhead light was turned off before the nightgown came off. The pull chain. The lamp click. The room went dark, but never fully. Street light through the curtain, moonlight through the window. Some women left the bathroom light on with the door cracked 2 inches. A narrow line of yellow across the floor. The compromise between visible and hidden. She was not hiding. She was choosing what was seen. In 1963, a black woman who controlled her own visibility inside her own bedroom was exercising authority that had nothing to do with shame. The darkness was not fear, it was power. Number 6. The silence rule. A bride was told to be quiet on the wedding night. Not silent, quiet. The distinction mattered. Walls in a shotgun house were thin. The mother-in-law 10 feet down the hall. A cousin on the living room couch. Privacy was architectural fiction. The rule was simple. Whatever happens in this room stays here. Quiet was how you kept it there. This was not repression. This was survival in a house of 7 people and 1 bathroom. Dignity lived in the walls a woman built with silence. Every other woman in that house heard exactly what she was meant to hear, which was nothing. Here is what no bridal magazine will ever print. The most important rules on a wedding night had nothing to do with how a woman looked. They were about how she carried herself in a space about to become the most permanent room of her life. The bedroom was not a destination. It was the start of a jurisdiction. She governed it from the first hour. Number 5. The never let him see you undone rule. Her husband should never see the in-between. Not the rollers, not the cold cream, not the girdle, not the effort. This is why the bathroom door locked, why the robe went on first, why the morning meant rising before he woke, washing, pressing powder into her cheekbones, and appearing at the kitchen doorway already assembled. The performance began on the wedding night and did not stop for decades. Today, people call this exhausting. The women who lived it called it standards. They were not performing for him. The undone version belonged to the mirror, the bathroom, and God. If she chose to share it, that was her gift. It was never his to demand. Number 4. The mother-in-law's quiet inspection. The morning after, the mother-in-law observed everything. The bedroom, the bride, the breakfast, the sheets. Nothing said directly. Everything noted. A knock at 7:30. Or no knock, just coffee already made as a test. Is she up yet? The sheets stripped and in the wash before anyone looked too long. The bed tight, the bathroom clean, the bride dressed and smiling. the mother-in-law's eyes sweeping the room in one glance that lasted 3 seconds and missed nothing. The inspection was never announced. Every bride knew someone was watching, not to catch her failing, to confirm she had been raised right. And raised right meant one thing: the women before her had done their job. The bride was not on trial that morning. Her mother was. Number 3. The first breakfast as a wife. The bride cooked breakfast the morning after, her first visible act as a wife. She rose before the husband, before the household. Biscuits from scratch because Pillsbury from a tube was unacceptable. Eggs in bacon grease, coffee percolated, not instant. Grits with butter, not margarine. Fork on the left, knife on the right. She would sooner burn the kitchen down than get it wrong on the first morning. The breakfast was not about food. It was an audition for a jury of women who had decided the verdict before the first biscuit left the oven. If the biscuits were right, she was right. If the coffee was strong, she was strong. That first breakfast was a character reference written in flour and butter. Number 2. The advice circle of older women. Before the wedding, the older women pulled the bride aside, 3 to 6 of them in a back bedroom or church kitchen with the door shut. The mother, the grandmother, an aunt married the longest, a church mother who had buried a husband and still wore the ring, the bride seated in the middle, the women speaking in turns. Some instructions were practical, some biblical, some so direct the bride's ears went hot, all delivered in the same tone. Not advice, law. No book held what those women said. No therapist has replicated it since. This was a curriculum from women who survived what the bride was about to begin. They were not being kind. They were arming her. The brides who listened were the ones whose marriages lasted. Number 1. The mother's private talk. The night before, or the hour before the bride left, the mother pulled her daughter into a room and closed the door. This conversation happened once, never repeated. The mother's voice low and steady, no soft language, specific, plain. Sometimes her hands trembled, sometimes her eyes filled. The daughter sat still and did not interrupt. She did not understand every word, but she knew her mother had waited years to say it. Some talks lasted 10 minutes, some an hour. Some mothers could barely finish. This was not the birds and the bees. That phrase makes small what was enormous. The mother was handing her daughter the one thing no industry could package and no generation could outgrow: the knowledge of what was coming, the permission to survive it, the quiet instruction that no matter what, you get up in the morning, wash your face, and make the coffee. Every woman who received that talk carries it behind her breastbone for the rest of her life. Every woman who never got it felt the absence like a room with no furniture in it. 25 rules, not one of them written in a book, not one of them sold in a store. Every single one passed from a woman's mouth to a woman's ear in a room with the door closed. That is how an entire generation of black women entered marriage, prepared, armored, quiet, and absolutely certain of who they were before anyone on this earth could tell them who to be.